Check 1 2 1 2. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all. I hope everybody is feeling good today, and you're in a good mood like I am. And y'all know why? Because it's Friday. Bam, 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 bam. We have finally made it to the end of the week, and I have a great show to kick off the weekend. All right. In breaking news, Donald J. Trump is in major trouble over 3 documents that has been re-released in the Epstein files. Then in today's top story, we're going to kick things off by giving you guys an update on day 7 in the Iran war. Also, Russia and China are now involved. Then we're going to talk about old missiles being the strategy, troops on the ground. Trump is asked if Americans should worry. Then we're going to talk about a prayer circle that's going viral from the Oval Office. Iran does not want a ceasefire. China is the only one getting oil. Petrodollars leading this war. Gas prices are surging. And there is a content creator that is being threatened to go to jail or to be put in jail over the content that he is showing from the Israeli side of the war. As always, we're going to go right to social discussion right after. And today's social discussion is, did the Republicans want Jasmine Crockett to win? Right after that, we're going to come to everyone's favorite segment. Comments of the day is when we come to the comment section. We discuss, we argue, we have good in-depth back and forth. And then we'll wrap up the show and get everybody on to their weekend. All right? Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, radio, your devices up. We made it, y'all. It's Friday. And I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. Welcome. Let's go. I'm pumped up today. As always, let's go. Woo! I had a good week. I felt like this week went by very, very quickly. I think everything that's been going on with the war since the weekend on Saturday, this week has literally just gone by in a flash for me. I have been working round the clock on our Instagram and on this show here and like the midday breaks. Woo! I am very, very, very ready for this weekend. I hope you all too. I hope you all are too. Welcome everybody who is logging in and streaming and watching us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick. Quick programming note for those of you who are streaming on YouTube. We have 2 streams on YouTube. You'll see one that has a phone emoji with an M bracket. That's the mobile stream. Only use the mobile stream on your mobile. On your mobile, you can use the mobile stream. It will look like Instagram or TikTok. Or you can also use the regular stream. You just have to turn your phone this way. If you're at home on your TV or your laptop, do not use the mobile stream. I'll look like this on your screen. I'll have 2 black boxes, all right? So make sure that you are on the correct stream. All right, let's kick things off with, I wanted to wish all the women out there a very happy International Women's Day. I know it's not today and it's Sunday, but y'all know I'm a big, huge supporter of women out there. I consider myself a feminist. I know guys drag me for it. You can call me whatever you want. Call me a simp, all you want. I love females. I know it's a Women's Day, but y'all know me how I talk of lions, animals. I'm enamored by just the female species. So shout out to all the strong, powerful, dynamic, amazing women out there. Of course, we will not be online live on Sunday, so I just wanted to take the opportunity to wish y'all a happy International Women's Day. I love y'all, all right? Okay, now that is the first thing. Now let's go to our breaking news, which is, yes, Donald Trump. I know we've been talking a lot about the Iran and USA war that's now spread. It's Israel, Russia, China, whatever. We'll get into that in a minute. I made a promise to you guys months ago. I'm never going to take my foot off the gas when it comes to these Epstein files. We all know that Donald Trump and his administration will like us to forget talking about it. We will not, especially us here on YouTube, content creators, legacy media. They have things and controls that they have to answer to. We are freelance journalists over here. We're freelance content creators, and we are not going to take our foot off the gas. We want all the Epstein files, and we want every single person accountable, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or independent. I don't care if you're Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, or Donald Trump. We want every single person in there to be held accountable. Let's kick things off with a major development. Take a listen.
Major news, the 3 missing FBI interviews with a woman who accused Donald Trump of assaulting her when she was between the ages of 13 years old with Epstein have now been released by the DOJ as part of the Epstein files, and these accusations are incredibly serious. I'm going to put the numbers of these documents on the screen at the end of the video so you can go read them if you want, but she told FBI agents in one of these interviews that she recalled at least one incident in which Epstein took her off the island and introduced her to somebody in either New York or New Jersey, and it was somebody with money. She identified him as Donald Trump. There were other people in the room. Donald Trump told them to leave, and when they did, he said to the girls something to the effect of, "Let me teach you what girls are supposed to be." He then did all this stuff. He put her down into his area. She and he apparently attacked her, said, "Get this the hell out of here." She also said she got the feeling that the relationship between Trump and Epstein included a lot of jealousy. She thought that Trump appeared jealous of Epstein, but at some point they ended up on a level playing field. Trump and Epstein sometimes use the terms fresh meat, untainted, and not jaded. Very gross. She also said she overheard Donald Trump and Epstein talk about blackmailing people. These are the numbers of the documents, these 3 previously missing interviews that the FBI, the DOJ, refused to release to the American people, and now we know why. We also don't know what the conclusion of this investigation was. The DOJ hasn't commented on that at all. They haven't released any documents around it, but man, some very serious stuff.
All right, so we had talked about this, I think, for the 2-3 weeks ago, maybe. And if you guys remember, there's 4 interviews. They were out there, then 3 was taken down. Content creators, a lot of people underground made a big noise about it. I feel like CNN and Fox kind of picked it up after a little while. And like we told you guys yesterday, Pam Bondi is going to be subpoenaed, or Republicans broke rank, and she's about to be subpoenaed, if I don't remember correctly. Sorry if I don't remember all the details, but this is a result of us putting pressure on Pam Bondi, and that's why these are back up now. Now, if you guys remember, Kirstie Noem got fired yesterday. I know a lot of you are like, "Oh, she didn't get fired. She got moved to another department." Yes, this is the department that nobody cares about and really doesn't even really exist. I'm predicting that the same thing is probably going to happen to Pam Bondi with all the mishaps, and you need to hang this up on somebody. But at least those files are back out now. And again, it's very hard for me to even talk about it here on YouTube. Again, I had to edit that video a lot, but there's a lot of serious accusations that this woman is accusing Donald Trump of, and why was it not investigated? Also, very important to note here is that this same woman that had these 4 interviews with the FBI, the FBI deemed her a credible witness, and the Epstein estate paid her out. They settled with her, meaning that there was some sort of wrongdoing, not found in a criminal courtroom, which also says a lot, to be fair, but there's something there. And she said Epstein and Trump. We'll see what comes of this. It's Trump that's still in control. The Republicans still in control. We will see, but at least there's some progress being made. All right. Let's go now into today's top stories, and we'll talk about Iran. All right, let's jump right into our coverage. Here is the update of day 7 of the Iran-Israel and American war. Take a listen.
Breaking news, America just sunk Iran's best aircraft carrier, and what Iran has promised to do in response could start World War III. But first, you need to know what's happened. Well, today, the US released footage of them blowing up Iran's best aircraft carrier, but in specific, it's actually a drone aircraft carrier, used for launching Shahed drones into countries which carry out one-way attacks, rather than launching fighter jets. Now, the US released a statement on this. They said, quote, "We are not holding back on the mission to sink the entire Iranian Navy." They also said, today, an Iranian drone carrier, roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier, was struck and is now on fire. And in the footage, it clearly shows it being blown up at least twice, but maybe more. Now, there's some things you need to know about this drone carrier. At the time, it was unveiled last year, and Iran claimed it was one of the most capable warships in their navy. And the fact that it's been blown up shows that the Iranian navy is not very capable. But there's some other things you need to know about this drone carrier too. It was used for launching drones, as I said, but it was actually repurposed from an old broken down cargo ship that was turned into an aircraft carrier, a drone carrier. This isn't a rare thing. China does a similar thing. They repurpose old cargo ships and turn them into warships as well. But anyway, the US has blown up Iran's only aircraft carrier, which is a drone carrier, and it looks like they've probably sunk it. And so I imagine the rest of the Iranian navy is probably on the way out too. And Iran has gotten pretty mad at this. They've said they promised to respond harshly, which I can imagine they will. So those attacks that will come by Iran, I'm going to be keeping you up to date on when they come. So,
crap, Iran has launched the Karam-Shar missile. 80 separate warheads were able to get into Tel Aviv, and all of them had a direct hit. Here is another angle of this insane scene. This, once it detonates, is impossible to even try to shoot down. And the Israelis don't really know how many of these the Iranians have. Could be 1, could be 1,000. This right here is the scene in Tel Aviv after just one of those 80 fell on it. The missile launches have picked up after actually dropping after the first day. They are rising again. On the contrast, the Americans and Israelis are bombing murals and paintings in Iran. All the while Netanyahu's son sits in Miami with about $10 million. The Israelis are now starting to really feel it. And actually, as I was making this video, an American jet was shot down over Iraq by militant, and there's now a $1 million bounty on that American pilot's head. There's a manhunt for this guy in the deserts of Iraq, so probably not good for him. More and more ballistic missiles are getting through into Israel right now, meaning one thing: Israel is running out.
some breaking news. Israel has taken a huge amount of damage last night, and Iran was using missiles that we didn't even know they had. For context, the missiles Iran was using would break up into hundreds of pieces, so that Israel could not shoot them down, and they would hit Israel in hundreds and hundreds of places. But there's some things you need to know. First, the missiles that Iran was using last night were the Iranian Karam-Shar missiles. They're long-range, long-distance, very heavy Iranian missiles. But that's not the important part. The important part is the warheads that these missiles were using. Well, as these missiles would enter Israel, they would break up into at least 80 smaller pieces, so that Israel would be unable to intercept them and shoot them down. And the videos coming out of it are absolutely crazy. It shows hundreds and hundreds of missiles falling towards Israel, and they all hit Israel directly. Now, there's some other things that you need to know though as well. Iran probably didn't develop these missiles themselves. This is technology we only believe that China and Russia have access to, and so they've probably given these missiles and the warheads to Iran. But there's some other things. This missile strike yesterday came over the Israeli Ben Gurion airport, and there's some things you need to know. Well, the US currently has over 30 refueling planes in Ben Gurion airport, meaning that if these missiles directly hit the airport, which they might have done, we don't know because the internet's been cut off, then there's a high chance that dozens of those American refueling planes have been bombed by these Iranian Karam-Shar missiles, which broke up into 80 pieces each. And if that's the case, the US and Israel would have taken a huge amount of damage last night. And that looks like what might have happened. And so this is something they don't want you to know, but I'm telling you because I'm not afraid to. So, breaking news, Iran has shot down an American fighter jet, and the US tried to deny it, but Iran released this footage in response, proving they have shot it down. And there's some things that you need to know. Well, yesterday, an American F15 fighter jet crashed just west of Tehran after it bombed Iran. Now, the fighter jet pilot ejected and he safely landed in Iran. Now, obviously, though, he wouldn't have wanted to be captured by the Iranians. And so the US quickly found out where he was, and they sent a helicopter crew to go and evacuate him out of Iran. And they successfully did that. Now, the US claims that it just crashed and Iran did not shoot it down. They actually denied the Iranian claims that they had shot it down. Now, we got footage today in response to the US denying that by Iran, and that footage quite clearly shows Iran shooting down the American F-15 fighter jet. We don't know what shot it down, whether it was a missile, whether it was another fighter jet, whether it was an air defense system, etc. We don't know. All we know is that Iran has released this footage of them shooting down an American F-15 fighter jet, only moments after the US claimed it just crashed and Iran had nothing to do with it. This is a huge embarrassment to the US, and I don't think the US is going to recover from this. It's the first jet they've they've lost due to Iran. And so you can leave me a follow because I'm going to be keeping you up to date on all of the news that you won't find anywhere else that I'll probably get in trouble for covering.
All right, we're going to get back to that last point that he made later because he's actually been threatened to be put in jail. We're going to save that for the end. Also, highlight to some people that might be new here, our focus on this channel is to try to bring you the information that you're not seeing on legacy media, that you're not seeing on MSNBC, Fox, and CNN. And we are in no way trying to support or promote Iran at all. We're just trying to show you what you're not going to see in the legacy media, newspapers, and so forth. Okay. The U.S. is a super mega power. There is no way that Iran could ever attack or beat the U.S. or Israel. But the fact that they have shot down, like he was just saying there, a fighter jet, that, you know, there have been attacks on some embassies in Dubai or whatever. We're just trying to shed light of showing you that when Donald Trump sits down and somebody asks him, hey, where would you rate this war on 1 to 10? And he says, I would rate it a 15. He's lying. Okay. There's a lot of things that he underestimated with Iran that he was not prepared for, him and his administration. Again, I'm not saying they're losing. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that they're not being prepared for. Now, let's talk about things completely taking a sharp turn, and now Russia and China being involved. Take a look at this.
Major Iran news right now. The war is expanding as now Russia is assisting Iran, according to the Washington Post. New reporting from the Washington Post suggests that Russia is reportedly providing intelligence support to Iran to target U.S. forces in the Middle East, sharing locations of American warships and other aircraft targets so that Iran could strike those. That is the first indication that a major adversary of the United States, whether Russia or China, will essentially be assisting Iran, and here Russia will be assisting Iran. Now comes as the Trump administration's focus is soon to shift to Cuba. This morning, Donald Trump told CNN's Dana Bash, that Cuba will likely fall pretty soon, suggesting that regime change in Cuba may be on the horizon, regime change that is pushed by the United States of America. Now, Rubio is leading those efforts right now, so we'll see what happens next. We have some news right now. China may soon get involved in the war in Iran. Russia has already gotten involved. China may be next. According to CNN, American intelligence suggests that the Chinese government is prepared to join the conflict in the Middle East, providing Iran with financial assistance, along with spare parts and missile components. Russia has already supported Iran's effort. The Washington Post reported this morning that Russia was providing intelligence to Iran as to where to strike American ships, American military bases, and other assets in the region. So it looks like China may be joining the war next. Why? Because China relies on oil coming from Iran and has been pressuring those around Iran to allow the ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz so that China can get the oil. This is turning into a potentially much larger conflict with China supporting Iran, Russia supporting Iran, and the United States and Europe against Iran.
Wow. Like, did Donald Trump and his administration plan for this? This is Putin saying, oh, you want to supply and help Ukraine? No problem. Hey, Rad, what do you need down there, guys? China. And I'm going to show you a video shortly. I think 2 or 3 videos coming up. Why China is so invested in Iran. It is way deeper than the Trump administration will lead you to believe. Oh, it's just regime change. Actually, it's not really regime change. It's because they had nuclear missiles. I know I said 6 months ago they never have nuclear weapons at all, but now if we didn't do this, they were 2 weeks away. Oh, it's for the... We know what this is about, all right, Mr. Trump? All right. I'm really, really enamored by the strategy that Iran is taking. Again, it's David versus Goliath. When your back is against the wall and you have nothing and you have limited options, you think a lot differently and you think a lot more innovative than when you are the big, bad, supreme power and have endless amounts of money that you could print. You just say, oh, I'm going to bomb. I'm going to B-2 fighter jets. I'm going to bomb. Look at what Iran is doing to be a thorn in the side of the US. Again, not supporting them, not supporting the regime, horrible stuff that they have done to the people for 47 years. I'm just saying and highlighting the strategy that the Trump administration, I don't think, planned for. And you're going to hear this in the video, but I just have this note here to highlight. One drone or missile from Iran could cost in between $10,000 to $20,000 per missile. And guess how much it costs the US to stop that drone or missile? $1 million. So Iran is like, yo, we'll throw up these little dinky missiles that we know are not going to hit, but it's going to cost you $1 million to take them out the sky. Because they know the American people are going to look at the bill and be like, yo, y'all are spending, and I have the amount. Take a guess. I'll wait a second. Think. $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day. If you're watching this and you're American, that's your tax dollars. $1 billion a day to shoot down dinky little missiles that cost 10 G's. That can't do any damage. Well, they'll still do damage, but not anything severe. But you still got to stop it because Israel can't look like they're getting attacked. They can't. They can't allow even a little dinky missile. It's like literally like throwing up a Molotov cocktail, and you got to spend $1 million to get it out the air. I'm telling you again, not for them, not for anybody in Iran or the regime, but that is smart, man. Listen to this video. We'll break it down.
Iran actually have a chance at winning this war. Let's talk about their strategy, but first, let's listen to what Iranian professor Marandi has to say.
Iran will defeat the United States. Time will tell. And our drones that are being fired are very old drones. Our missiles that are being fired are very old missiles. They are very inexpensive. And Americans are using up very expensive air defense systems. The Iranians know exactly what they're doing. We haven't even begun using our latest technology, and most of Iran's underground bases have not even been used yet. They have not even been opened up for operation. Iranians have been planning for this day ever since the invasion of Iraq. They knew that at some point the Epstein regime will go after Iranians, and therefore they've been preparing themselves for many years.
The first thing you need to know is that this is a war of attrition. And what that basically means is that both sides are going to try to wear each other down over time until one surrenders. And you win by exhausting soldiers, money, weapons, political will. And the US and Israel's strategy is quite simple. It's what they've been doing in Gaza, is destroy Iran as quick as possible, destroy their infrastructure, go after their proxies, and basically cripple Iran's ability to fight. Trump's entire strategy is he wants to do this as fast as possible, like he did in Venezuela. But Iran is not Venezuela. Iran's strategy is asymmetric warfare. They are interested in making this a long, expensive, and politically difficult for the US and Israel. They are attacking Israeli cities, US military bases across the region, energy infrastructure. They are also spending a lot less on their weapons, and they're making them a lot quicker. A $10,000 drone from Iran is taking out $1 million US missile. Another issue is that the US is burning through their weapons stockpile because they have been funding the war with Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Ukraine is using huge amounts of ammunition. Israel also needs large amounts of interceptors, and all of this is being funded by the US taxpayer. Iran has also closed the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil supply passes through. This will cost the global economy billions of dollars. Analysts say oil could jump to $100 to $150 per barrel. Trump is threatening to have U.S. troops on the ground, but this would be another win for Iran because more than half of the country is mountainous terrain, and they have entire hidden infrastructures inside of the mountains. They have tunnels, missile bases, military facilities inside of these mountains. They also have the biological cardiovascular advantage because they grew up in these higher altitudes. Iran's strategy is to crush the U.S. economy. The U.S. and Israel strategy is to crush the Iranian people.
Crazy strategy. The fact that they haven't even begun to use their real missiles yet, and they're literally just throwing up Molotov cocktails, and the the Trump administration has spent close to $10 billion is crazy. And that is why people are saying that they won't win. Could they obliterate them? Yes. But in this kind of airstrike battle, it looks like Iran might be able to wait them out with a lot of their capabilities being underground. What do you do then? Well, that's going to be my next video. Troops on the ground. Listen to this.
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You are waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
What do you do with that? What do you do with that? We're ready. Let's go. We knew from when you guys went to Iraq, invaded Iraq, that y'all were coming. Donald Trump, you guys planned for this for like 2 months, bringing all the naval ships, bringing all the tankers, that you guys, okay, you took like a month and a half. Yeah, we've been preparing for this for the past 20 years, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we knew you were coming. We got you. We were talking with China. We were talking with Putin. What's up? What's up? Crazy. Now, what do you think Donald Trump thinks about all of this? What does Donald Trump think about waging this war? How does he feel about the American people and what they have to deal with? Take a listen to what he thinks.
Some major news tonight. Donald Trump is acknowledging that Americans may face retaliatory attacks here in the United States on United States soil as a result of the war. He said, quote, "I guess, like I said, some people will die." One of the craziest statements from the president. It's from an interview with Time magazine tonight. Asked whether Americans should be worried about retaliatory acts at home, Trump acknowledges the possibility. "I guess," he says, "but I think they're worried about that all the time. We think about it all the time. We plan for it. But yeah, we expect some things. Like I said, some people will die. When you go to war, some people will die." I don't think when he said that initially, when you go to war, some people will die, people took that to mean Americans dying on American soil from retaliatory attacks as a result of the war he started. People took that to mean American service members in combat. But that's not what he's saying tonight. A pretty stunning admission from the President of the United States. As always, spread the word. Follow.
That's what Donald Trump thinks. It's okay. And while he's thinking that, he's having prayer circles in the Oval Office. Look at this.
We're honored to come before your presence today, lifting up the arms of our president. We pray for your continued blessing and favor to rest upon him. We pray for wisdom from heaven to flood his heart, his mind, and Lord, you will guide him in these challenging times that we're facing today. I pray for your grace and your protection over him. Yes. I pray for your grace and protection over our troops and all of our men and women serving in our armed forces. Yes. And Father, we just pray you'll continue to give our president the strength that he needs to lead our great nation as we come back to one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We pray your heavenly blessing upon him. In Jesus' name. Amen.
This is important legal news. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation reports that it has gotten over 200 complaints from active U.S. military members saying that their commanders say that Donald Trump has been anointed by God and that the war in Iran is a religious war to bring about the return of Christ. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation exists to protect the First Amendment rights of U.S. troops, and they have noticed a massive uptick in complaints that troops are being told this war is part of God's plan. That religious messaging is coming all the way from the top. Pete Hegseth notoriously has a lot of Crusader imagery tattooed on his body. That picture's rough to look at. I should have given you a trigger warning. My bad. But these complaints are very serious. Troops are being told that this war is all part of God's divine plan, and their commanders are citing the book of Revelation, saying that this is going to bring Armageddon and the return of Jesus to bear. Look, there is nothing illegal about the president pretending to be a Christian to exploit his base. Donald Trump has been doing that his whole career, and Republicans have done it for decades. But when you start imposing extreme religious ideology to justify an illegal war, and you impose that on troops, now you've got a First Amendment violation.
What is he doing there at the desk the Resolute desk. What is he doing? What is going on in that? I've searched the internet and nobody knows what's going on in that room. It just looks weird. Now, like I said, we've been talking about this all day and all week. And there's some people that are like, no, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just because a few missiles have got passed through the defense systems of Israel, it's just a few more days, maybe a couple of weeks. There's going to be a ceasefire soon. We believe in Donald Trump. Well, for those people, I would like to play this.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the US. When we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the US from us. No, we are waiting for them.
No negotiation. We're good. We were talking with you guys over in, I think it was Switzerland, like 2 weeks ago. You guys had all of these military cruise ships or whatever. In the middle of it, you attacked us and bombed us and took out our supreme leader. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. And now you know why I played for you earlier. Russia, China. We all need, bro. We'll give you some stuff on a line of credit. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you some missiles on an IOU, bro. Listen to this. This might be the most important video I play for you guys all episode. Listen very carefully to this.
This is an active shipping route right now, the Strait of Hormuz near Iran. This is where 20% of the world's global oil goes through. And you see all of these clusters right here. These are ships that are not allowed to get through the strait right now by Iran itself. But you see the ships that are going through? Those are Chinese cargo ships, oil tankers. They're all being allowed to go through while nobody else is allowed right now. This is absolutely crazy. Iran is giving the oil that China needs to keep its economy going, but blowing up everybody else's around the world. I'd say this war isn't going quite ready to plan like Donald Trump thought it would.
China. Yo, you guys can pass. No problem. Come on through. Whoa, where you from? Yeah, no, stay right there. No, you're from this country? No. China? Yeah, you come on through. It's like a bouncer at the club. Like, yo, you China? Going through, bro. Yeah, no. Did Donald Trump plan for this? Donald Trump feels like he's going to take over that strait. I don't think so, sir. This is what the war is all about. Listen to this.
I told you that the U.S. military actions in Venezuela last month and Iran over the weekend aren't really about removing dictators or stopping nuclear weapons, but something even bigger. The system that helps support $38 trillion of U.S. debt, the petrodollar. Stick with me. Over the weekend, Donald Trump ordered airstrikes inside Iran that reportedly killed several senior figures in the country's military leadership. Most of the coverage is focused on the political fallout inside Iran, but the bigger impact may actually be in the oil market. Because Iran isn't just a geopolitical rival, it's one of the world's major oil exporters. Before the strike, Iran was exporting roughly 1.5 to 2 million barrels of oil per day, and about 90% of that was going to China. And here's the key detail. Much of that oil wasn't being settled through the traditional Western financial system. Iran has been cut off from SWIFT, the global banking network used for most cross-border payments. So many of those transactions happen through alternative systems or non-dollar currencies. Now, here's where it gets interesting. For decades, the global oil market has largely revolved around something called the petrodollar system. Since the 1970s, most oil around the world has been priced and traded in US dollars. That forces countries that want to buy oil to first obtain dollars. And that demand matters. Oil exporting countries accumulate those dollars and often recycle them back into U.S. assets like treasury bonds. Now that process, known as petrodollar recycling, has helped finance U.S. government borrowing. In other words, when oil is priced in dollars, it creates global demand for dollars. And global demand for dollars helps absorb U.S. debt. Now let's look at the geopolitical angle. Two of the largest oil exporters operating outside the dollar system have been Venezuela and Iran. If Venezuela ends up with a new government aligned with the West, and if Iran eventually transitions to new leadership, those oil exports can move back into the dollar system. That means oil sold in dollars, payments moving through SWIFT, and billions more flowing into dollar-denominated assets. At a time when the US government is running trillion-dollar annual deficits, that demand becomes incredibly valuable. So the real question might be not whether this is about nuclear weapons or authoritarian dictators. It might just be about the currency that underpins the global financial system.
Of course it's about money. Of course it's about oil. I've been telling you guys that all week. That's the mistake that Donald Trump is making. And here is the result of his mistakes. Higher gas prices.
Yes, some major Iran news right now. The Qataris expect that the price of a barrel of oil will skyrocket up to $150. That's nearly double where we're at right now. Gas prices in the United States of America are over $3.30 on average, higher than when President Biden left office. If oil barrel prices spike to $150, you're going to have $4 potentially higher on average gas prices here in the United States of America. Oil and gas is surging right now. Meanwhile, Trump is saying today that there will be no deal with Iran unless it completely unconditionally surrenders. U.S. officials told Congress, according to NBC News, that they were targeting in the area where that school was struck, that elementary school, where potentially 100 plus children were killed. Meanwhile, the United States government is urging all Americans to leave Bahrain immediately. Only problem, commercial flights out of Bahrain are unavailable, so it's unclear exactly how they want them to leave. Spread the word. Full updates on my Substack.
All right. Last video I want to play for you guys is a content creator, somebody who I like because he's very unbiased and just tells you the news, being threatened for the coverage that he is giving us. Take a look, and then we're going to go to social discussion. And my social discussion today is, did Republicans actually want Jasmine Crockett to win? And I'll explain why. But take a look at this video first.
Just been threatened after I told you how much damage Iran caused to Israel last night. And I'm looking at possibly going to prison because of this. But first, 2 hours ago, I also just exposed Israeli Iron Dome interceptor rockets being fired up into the sky, going wrong, and then coming back down and hitting Israel, killing Israelis. Now, because of this, I'm getting in quite a lot of trouble. I'm exposing things about this war that you're not allowed to. I'm covering things that I'm going to get in trouble for covering. And now we're actually being threatened for covering this. By the way, if you don't know, yesterday, I officially got banned on TikTok. 3 years I put into that account, got over 300,000 followers, and it got banned like that for covering stuff like this. We are really being attacked here. But one thing I want to make very clear is no matter what happens, I am not going to stop. I'm not afraid of these people. I'm going to keep exposing the news, bringing you guys the news that you're not allowed to cover, that I might get in trouble for covering, because I think it's the right thing to do. However, there is a problem. TikTok was one of our only sources of income, and now we've lost that. And it means that I'm really unable to keep funding the making of the news videos that you watch. It's a full-time job. I spend 18 hours a day doing this. I'm up till 3 a.m. most days researching and bringing you guys the news. But I'm not able to keep doing it. There's also money that's got to go into the videos, whether it's video editing, research, paying other people, etc. And now I can't continue to keep doing it. And so I need your help. I love being able to bring the news.
Okay. Just showing you what they're doing. Y'all know in Iran, they have cut off the internet. Now they are working with TikTok and content creators, et cetera, to stop the flow of information. All right. Very, very, very scary times. All right. That is it for today's top stories. Let's go over to social discussion. All right. Yesterday's social discussion was Jasmine Crockett, and I played a quick video for you guys of her crying, taking her loss. And I asked you guys, why do you guys think Jasmine Crockett lost? Was it her messaging? Was it her tone and her attitude, which I like? I like that kind of in-your-face bravado. I like that also in Trump, even though I don't like his ways, not his ways, but the way he implements things, the way he goes about things, the decisions he makes, etc. But I do like the straightforwardness and the non-political way in which he speaks, and I feel like Jasmine is the same way. She doesn't try to talk over your head. She talks it directly to you. I've said that Donald Trump has changed the language of politics, and Jasmine Crockett is the exact same way. But I asked yesterday, are people tired of that? The things that Donald Trump has done in the past year after winning with that kind of attitude, that kind of non-Washington attitude, that everyday bravado, are people tired of that? I also asked, did she lose because she's a woman? And then I also asked, did she lose because she's a black woman? So there's a lot of questions we asked yesterday. Now, here's a content creator that I found, a black woman. Listen to her perspective, and then we could discuss. Take a listen.
Democrats in Texas might have made a smart decision. Now, y'all know James Talarico won the Democratic primary against Jasmine Crockett in Texas. And before anybody starts their usual conversation, Jasmine Crockett did not lose because she's black. She lost because too much of her campaign was about Donald Trump. And here's the thing about voters. They don't send people to Washington to just complain about Donald Trump. They send people there to do something. James Tallarico was out here talking about actual issues, policy, school, religion too. And let's be honest, conservatives don't own religion, but they do a way better job than liberals campaigning using religion. And now Republicans are nervous because quiet is kept. They wanted Jasmine Crockett to win that primary. She's easier for them to run against. But Tallarico, that's a different animal. And now this Texas race has gotten interesting. So I'm curious, did y'all think that Jasmine was going to win? And do you think Tallarico gives Democrats a real shot in Texas?
Really, really love that perspective. Couple of interesting things she said. One, did the Republicans really want her to win because it would be easier to beat her overall? You guys know I'm very adamant about watching Newsnight with Abby Phillips because there's Republicans and Democrats there. And I watch Fox News. Every Republican has said, please let her run against us. They have said, please let her run in 2028 for the presidency because we know we could easily beat her. Now, they're saying it for insulting reasons, but regardless, do you think that they would have preferred her win to win over Tallarico? That's one. Two, I don't have the answer to the first question, but I do have an answer to the second question. Do Americans send representatives that want to do something or be actionable, or do they send people that just want to fight Donald Trump? That was one of Kamala Harris's mistakes. The fact of her just always speaking about Trump, against Trump. Yes, that's one thing, but that can't be all you're about. Now, also her second mistake was, let's not rate the mistakes, but her other mistake was not separating herself from Joe Biden, right? Arguably, people would say that she lost the race on The View when they asked her, what would you do different from Joe Biden? She said nothing. History will look back on that as that was the moment that she lost. You cannot run on, I don't like Donald Trump. That's not enough. And I think Mandami did the best job that we've seen from a Democrat, where he had a vision for New York, whether you liked it or not. He had a vision. He was actionable. He said he was going to do this. He was going to do that. And he never let his foot off the gas. And anything asked about Donald Trump, he would say he's a fascist, he's this, he's authoritative, he's that, he's a whatever. But that wasn't Mandami's entire message or campaign idea. And I think that's where maybe Jasmine Crockett fell a little short. My opinion. Let's go to the comment section and see what y'all think about it. All right, what up? We made it to Friday, y'all. What up? All right, let's just start from the bottom like we have been this past couple of weeks. Gronkin Black said, whatever, man. Hey, Derek is in the beginning. Derek is in the house. What up? Derek said, wow, Tara, can't believe you would vote against a black woman. That's a curveball. Derek says she got some points with Republicans wanting her to win, but it's two ways, because she would have to motivate the black vote to come out. Tallarico will lose because we have seen this movie before with Beto. Grokin, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry if I'm not. It's never about black, but somehow it's always been black. Tara says, I love Jasmine Crockett, but personally, I would have voted for Tallarico. There you go. Hey, Hispanics was the one who put Tallarico over the edge too. Roberta says, yes, James gives them a chance. Jasmine did not campaign. Crystal, what up, Crystal? Crystal says, I'd be surprised if Terry answers without deflecting. Groken says even in the campaign, they were making racial motivated comments on the Democrats. Tara says, I agree too much of her campaign was about Trump. I absolutely agree with the lady because I have respect for Tallarico and his policies. That's pretty much it. Mars, it says, Crystal, great question for Terry, waiting for the answer. Ooh, can't wait to see this. She lost because she was black. Derek says, Jasmine lost because she is a black racist, period. She insulted the Latinos, and that cost her the vote because the Democrats establishment didn't want her to win, so they played her with Colbert. Mars says, yes. Let me ask you, Terry, how are you doing? Are you not part of the 99% affected by this man's actions? Can't wait to get to see what's going on with Terry. Nothing has changed here. She did not campaign. I'm tired of this place. Jasmine lost. Yes, we know. Mystery says, what's up, Mystery? The content creator that is being threatened. What happened to free speech? Crazy. Trent is an independent, not liberal scum. Trump is the only one doing scum-ish that is affecting Americans' livelihoods, anxiety level to destroy the economy. Melva's in the building. So gas that was purchased before this war has allowed the sellers to now sell for far more than they paid. All scammers. Very, very good point, Melva. Derek says, this guy you keep playing are not news, bro. They are propaganda and Trump derangement at its finest. Derek, you always say the same thing, bro. I asked you to give me somebody. You gave me somebody that has 10,000 followers, and he doesn't even talk about the war. So I don't know why you gave me his name. I keep challenging you. Give me somebody that spits facts. I don't care if they're Republican, Independent, Democrat, white, purple, blue, yellow. I need somebody that's going to give me facts, that's going to give me reports that I'm not going to get on mainstream media. Sorry. Roberta says, yes, after the hike, it increased 30% and higher. Where is this Terry person that you guys keep talking about? Amen, Tara. I'm not going to distance because based on party affiliation. Terry, you need to stop using the pipe. Donald Trump and his regime are not doing what they promised. He said no wars. How many wars and invasions has he done? Trump is starting World War III. So lay off T. Joy Bennett, Trent is always right. I keep repeating that. He brings receipts for those with no receipts. Verify your facts. She says the war is about money and trade deals. 100%. Robert says, what if it were a pound of flesh and free rider issue affecting global order? Melva says, I had to pay an extra 35 cents a liter today. It sucks. Wow, that's crazy. You're exactly right, Trent Out Loud. Thank you, Scarlett. Katie, what up, Katie? What up, Andrew? It is so obvious that Trump is really wanting to wage war against Iran. He is using internal affairs as smokescreen. Totally agree. It's $100 a barrel now. That's crazy work. Derek says, if the war goes as planned, trust me, China will become a joke to the world. Really? What is the plan, by the way? Tara says, everybody has the right to choose whatever party that works for them. I'm more democratic, but Derek is MAGA, and he's my brother, just like everybody here are my family, no matter who they support. Love that, Tara. Thank you for that. We are all family. 92,000 jobs lost, gas prices going up, unemployment going up. Are we great yet? Woo! Good comment, Brooklyn. Derek says, Donald Trump came to destroy the BRICS alliance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, who are planning to overthrow the US dollar. Venezuela was their big supply, and Iran as well. That's a theory, but can it work? I know exactly what I played that yesterday, and even a little today in the video, where it's like now they have Venezuela if they conquer Iran, but with Russia and China supporting, can they pull that off? Crystal says, Terry, Trent is just reporting the facts. If Trump didn't want people to talk ish about him, then he would stop doing the dumb ish. I really cannot wait to get to this Terry comment. You are total liberal scum. Oh, there's Terry. You are total liberal scum. I just don't understand. If I say somebody is MAGA, if I say like Derek is MAGA or Terry is MAGA, why can't I just say you're MAGA or you're sorry? We say you're MAGA or you're Republican. Why do you guys say you're a liberal scum or you're a liberal tards? Like you take these one-liners that Trump feeds you and then you say it like as if like you came up with them. Like this is like, is this high school or something? Anyways, thank you for your comment. Melba says China has benefits. Oh, sorry. China has hey, I haven't yawned in like 2-3 days, by the way. Just wanted to add that. China has benefits, so they stand with Iran 100%. Derek says Trump had it all planned, bro, and that's why Trump said, drill, baby, drill. The China economy is crashing. What are you talking about? Why do you think Trump took over Venezuela? We know why he took over Venezuela. I pray for everybody. I'm a prayer warrior. Bobby said, rightfully so. Joyce says, Crystal, don't worry. Evil never prevails, not from that dude, nor from the dude's minions who have drank all the Kool-Aid. Scarlett says, damn, guess prices already going up. Roberta said, believers, prayer for everybody in hopes they repent and give it. No Christian should refuse to pray for non-believers. Good point. Somebody said, yikes. Tara said, no matter how, no matter how they spin it, war is war. Straight facts. Hey, did this guy Terry only leave that one thing that's, okay, I see some coming up. Okay, hold on. Always realize there is somebody who has less than you. Derek says, you could work for the IRGC at this point with Trent. Iran don't need any disinformation. All right, bro. Somebody said Mel said they're waiting for y'all. Donald Trump isn't Christian. I don't understand why the Christians pray around him. Roberta says God all allows things good and bad for his plan. Here's Terry. You keep saying you're not on either side, yet every other word out your mouth is downing President Trump. Listen, I respect your opinion. I respect if that's how you see it. I'm not downing Donald Trump. I'm highlighting the fact that he doesn't come out and say what is really going on. He's always deflecting. He's always saying everything is amazing. He's always saying the economy is amazing, that everything is amazing. And even when he says that something is going up that's so obvious, he's like, yeah, gas prices are going up, but that's to be expected because they're going to go so much lower after. You know what I mean? Like, how's the war going? Listen, it's going really good. Like with anything, nothing is perfect. You know, we have lost 6 people, which hurt my heart. I never want to lose any American. But no, he's like, well, Americans, be prepared. Things happen. This is war. Like, this is just, I'm challenging him. This is not how he campaigned. He campaigned as the no war president. No new wars, no long-term wars. He dragged past presidents. So I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not downing anybody. When Biden was president, I challenged and asked these same questions. When Kamala was campaigning, I challenged and asked these questions. That's what I do as a content creator, as a journalist. That's what my job is. So, you know, it's the fact that Donald Trump is president now and he's starting these wars. That's why he gets these challenges. But go down on my page and go a year ago or 2 years ago when Biden was president. Go look when Kamala was campaigning. Did the same thing. What Democrats can't do anything right now. Republicans run every single branch, even the Supreme Court. What can Democrats do for me to get on them? Do you know what I'm saying? I literally just talked about Jasmine Crockett, and there's nobody that I love more than a black woman. Y'all know that about me already. And I just said she ran a campaign just like Kamala Harris that caused her to lose. So how come you're not like, oh, you're not saying anything nice about Jasmine? When I say that Jasmine didn't run her campaign the way she should have and not just focus on Donald Trump, now how come I'm not a Republican something? Or this, how come you're not calling me a name then? Right? It's only when I talk about the Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. Can we not challenge him? Can we not say anything about, oh my gosh, the chosen one? Give me a break, man. Grow up a little bit, bro. Gosh. Geez, like it's ridiculous. We're all adults here. We're trying to have a conversation. Gosh. Roberta says, I saw where troops in formation and some were crying. Derek says every president in the US, good or bad, are anointed by cheaters, period. See, that's what I like about Derek, man. Derek keeps it real. Tara said, I'm in Ohio, close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They're attacking that base. All right, I want to keep today's show to 1 hour, so I'm just going to scroll up here quickly to just see like the welcomes. Melva said, hey. Mystery said, hello, Trent and the Outlouders. What up, what up, what up, Mystery? What up? Donald Trump rules the world, somebody said. Shout out to you. Melva, what up, what up, what up, what up? Plus, they plan to start war with Cuba this weekend. Really? It's supposed to be coming this weekend? Mystery said, it's Friday! Taya is also here. Was here in the beginning. Melva, it's Friday, everybody. What up, what up, what up, up? Joy said, hey, Outlouders. What up? Hit that like button. Of course, you know, Crystal, my girl's in the building. Hey, Frap, happy Friday. Trent, my fellow Outlouders and angels. It's Friday. Yo, Mars was in here in the beginning. Hey, T, angels and Outlouders. What up, what up, what up? I'm excited to hear the new updates tonight. Thank you, Melva. Thank you, Joy. What? Derek was here in the beginning. Shout out to my guy, Derek, in the building. Yes. I haven't seen Kim. Kim, I know you're still listening. We are sending you love and prayers. We know that there is, something that you're dealing with. We don't need to know what it is. We just want you to know that we love you. We are thinking about you, and we hope you are well. And we are your prayer warriors. The Outlouders are here to support you. We hope that you have a beautiful and lovely weekend. Even if you're not listening right now, I hope you do hear this later or over the weekend. All right. We are here for you. We got you. All right, Kim. We love you. I already said hi to Katie and Andrew in the building. Okay. All right. Let me go down to the end and see if there's anything new that came in while I was reading the other ones. Derek says prayers for Kim. Thank you very much, Derek. Scarlett says love from NC. Tamo said gas prices sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. In northern North Carolina is at least $3.18 a gallon now. Hey, Tara with the super chat. My girl, Tara. Thank you for that super chat. Roberta says we are also in Ecuador. But reporters are not allowed to report on that crazy work. Hi from IBC. Can't please everyone, Trent, and make everybody happy. Keep doing a great job on your show. Thank you very much. Blessings. Mystery says, Terry, in the chat stream, Trent is right now dragging Mr. T as he needs to tell the truth to the people in the U.S. regarding the war, which will impact the world economy. Roberta says, war going 15 out of 10. Something for him to say. Second in charge. I don't know what that word is. That's Pete Hegseth. Said his boss made the decision to go to Iran. Mars says, it's so funny how MAGA supporters are so sensitive. You say one word about their master, they can't handle it. Get off your knees, people. Love that, Mars. Thank you. Derek says you are 90% negative towards Trump. Yeah, because he's making a lot of stupid decisions. Trust me, you keep putting the president down. You never talk about Biden and Kamala the same way. Because where is Kamala? Last thing she did, she wrote a book and I dragged her whole book run. And Biden doesn't even know where he is right now. What would you like me to say about Biden? Biden is dans la lune. Like, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want to talk about Biden? This is craziness. All right, let me go to my sign out. And then I'll come back for my goodbyes, okay? So stay right there. I'll be right back. Going to final thoughts. All right, guys. Thank you for a great week. Thank you for hold on, let me take this off here. Oh my gosh. What is this? There we go. Thank you very much for a great week. Thank you for hanging with me. Super, very, very, very fun week. I thought we had a lot of good conversation. Shout out to Derek, my Republican MAGA homie, for holding it down. I think you're here almost kind of like every week. Shout out to what's Mars' friend's name that she calls Dim Starlet, and who is the other one that is like MAGA heavy that we get into conversations with? Can't remember. But anyway, shout out to all the MAGA and Republicans. I love a good conversation. All right. All right. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of three things very, very quickly. Please do not forget, if you would like to give back to your favorite YouTube host, we have Super Chat and Super Thanks. Also, do not forget to sign up for the Out Loud membership, become an Out Louder today. You'll see a join button or a membership tab above me. And if you want to sign up for the Out Loud. If you want to sign up for Aura, here is a QR code or the link below. Aura is an all-in-one digital security tool. Do not go on the internet or surf the internet or type in any information without having protection with Aura. It's absolutely free for 14 days. They can show you any of your information that is out there with a click of a button. Absolutely free. Make sure you sign up for Aura today. Also, before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. All right. We're available on all podcast platforms. So just go to any pod site, type in Trent Out Loud. Make sure you hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. If you're like me and you love watching shows like this on video, head on over to YouTube. I'm going to need you to do 6 things when you're over there. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Give me a hype too if you see the hype button. Not everybody has it. Please make sure you comment. My favorite thing before I go to bed is looking at all the comments. I love all the live comments, but please give me some comments underneath the video to continue the conversation. 4, please try to share this channel with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps us in growing the channel. And like I said 2 minutes ago, while you're on YouTube, don't forget you can also give us a super chat, super thanks, and don't forget to sign up for the Out Loud membership. Now, the third way to keep up with the show is streaming. We stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick weekdays, 5:30, 5:45, sometimes a little bit late. But make sure you tune in, all right? We're on podcast platforms, we're on video, and we're also streaming. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's also the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And thinking about Instagram, please follow me on the Trent Out Loud show. That is when I can talk to you guys in the daytime, in the morning, at lunch, even on the weekends. If you really like the show, that's an extension to the show. We give you quick little reels, keep you up to date with everything that's going on. And we have a lot of fun over there, okay? YouTube has a lot of like restrictions and things I can't say and things I can't play. If you like the show, follow me on Instagram at The Trent Out Loud Show or Trent Out Loud. All right. Let's go over to the final comments before we go and head out to the weekend. Here, I think this one was the last one. Mystery says, great show again tonight, Trent. Keep doing what you are doing. Thank you very much. Nolans, what up? Nolans said Havana was in the paradise of the Caribbean. I'm praying for all the innocent people who are victims of this war. Mystery said, sending blessings to Kim. I think it's Valerie says, hi from LBC, Long Beach, California, where Snoop Dogg is from. Shout out to Cali. Blessing says, Kim, hope all is well, sending all my love and prayers. Crystal says, yo, what the hell? You literally went on a tangent and put my comment up and never read it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been defending you, Trent. But Crystal, I read literally 3 or 4 of your comments. Hold on. Let me go up so Crystal doesn't get mad at me. Hold on. Yo, this is hilarious. Okay. See, I read that one, Crystal. I read that one. Hold on. Let me ask you, Terry. I read that one. Terry didn't even answer. Hold on. Let me see. What else? Why is anybody supporting this man to gamble the lives of Americans and keep doing all this unnecessary ish and destroy our country in so many ways? Okay, I didn't read that one. I'm so sorry, Crystal. Is that the one you wanted me to read? There, okay. I read that one, Crystal. All right. Are you happy now? You still love me? Hold on. Let me get back to where we were. Hold on. Where were? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I still love you, Trent. We are currently in this chat. Roberta, what up, Roberta? Hope you have a great weekend. Derek says, I was thinking about Jay-Z Congress testimony. Maybe it's a way for Jay-Z to step into the political scene. I could be back. What? I could be back. I think he meant I would back the Dems if it was Jay-Z 2028. Scarlett had some. Roberta says Jay-Z will be in jail. He might be next. Mars calls Sparkle dim. That's it. Sparkle. That's her name. Scarlett says, I'm not MAGA babe. I meant not Scarlett. I meant Sparkle. Very, very sorry for that. Dim screen name is Sparkle. Yes, thank you guys for correcting me. So I love having my angels here to watch over me. Mr. Charlie says, great show. Thank you very much. Mystery says, Derek versus Trent. And Trent is loving the challenge as always. Of course, man. Derek is my guy, man. Like number 32, 31. Scarlett Tara says, I just hyped you. I just hyped you this afternoon. I always like and share with my sister. Thank you so much, Tara. Don't forget to also check out our video page. I think that's what Tara's talking about. I think, what was the video I put up today? Oh, about 50 Cent and T.I., their beef. Crazy. Make sure you guys check that out. Valerie says, hey, this is Valerie from Long Beach, California. So excited I made the live. I usually miss it, but what time do you start Pacific Standard Time? I think Pacific Standard Time would be, because I go on 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I think that's 2:30 Cali time. 2:30. Blessing says, have a great weekend. I think you're saying that to Mystery. Roberta says, great show. Hugs. Thank you, Roberta. Great show, Trent from Tara. Thank you. Mystery says, blessings. YouTube blessings. Yes. Back and forth. Is that Jerome? Jerome says, kindness is the highest expression of wisdom. Crystal gave some hearts. Hey, Trent, Crystal keeping you on your toes. Crystal always keeps me on my toes, man. Crystal ain't playing around. Mars says, great show, T. Thanks, Mars. Thanks, Marzipan. Crystal says, I love you so much. You just had me laughing so hard. That's what I do. They said today that Trump has to testify, was announced today because of the Clintons. No way. What? You're joking, Mars. Like he has no choice? Excuse me. Hold on. Trump testify. Trump administration, no. Where do you see that, Mars? Send me that. I would love to see that. Oh my gosh, Trump officially will finally testify in the Epstein cover-up. Wow, but I saw this is on YouTube. I don't know if it's confirmed. Hold on. Does Donald Trump have to testify in front of the Epstein Oversight Committee? Has it been announced? Hold up. No, it has not been officially announced that Donald Trump has to testify before the House Epstein Oversight investigation. Here's the current situation. The U.S. House Oversight Committee is investigating. This is it. What about Trump? Some Democrats on the committee have called for Trump to testify. However, there has been no official subpoena or confirmation testimony date from Trump. Important content. Be careful what y'all read out there, guys. It has not been official from what I can gather quickly. Somebody said hello from New York. Crystal said, really, Mars? Well, it wouldn't matter anyways. He's just going to lie under oath. It wouldn't care. Yeah, but he can't just lie under oath like that. But we shall see. Joyce says, Valerie, we get TOL around 2:35 here in Cali. Love y'all. Yeah, they are asking him to go. Well, of course they're asking him to go. They've been asking him to go from time. But I thought you meant like it was official. Valerie said, thanks, Joy. Okay, you got the time. Oh my gosh, Joy, I'm coming to visit you out there. I used to live in Cali not really live, but I was there for a summer. My aunt lived in was it West LA? Where'd she live? West LA. Anyways, prayers for Kim from Paula. Evening to all from Jane. Guaranteed he won't have cameras in the room. If he does, and he should. Roberta says Pam Bondi was silent for 85 seconds once Jasmine asked about 2.3 million unapproved payment. Her lawyer pleaded the fifth for Pam. I watched some of the hearing. That's crazy. It's the weekend. Make sure you enjoy from Jane. All right, Mystery says goodnight, Trent and the Out Louders and the Angels. No place like Cali from Jane. And of course, Crystal has the last comment. Hit those horns. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in all week. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Friday. I'll see you over the weekend. We might drop some videos. Make sure you check out podcast platforms or the video side on YouTube. If not, I will see y'all Monday, same time, same place. Y'all be safe. Shout out to Kim. Bam, 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 bam. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!